husband fully supported me doing so. When I quit that job, it gave me an opportunity to dive into some passions that I didn't even.
Farming often looks calm and simple from afar. Quiet fields, sunsets, and a gentle rhythm of life. But what if beneath that peaceful picture lies near disasters, heartbreaking losses, and a fight for survival that could change everything? One farm wife's story cracks open that veneer. After a terrifying accident nearly claimed her husband's life, whispers and rumors swirled. But the truth is far more powerful. About love, perseverance, and working through life's hardest moments with raw honesty. What did happen to her husband? The real story goes deeper than most expect. The accident that nearly broke them. Life on a farm is full of risks. Machines hum loudly, and every tool carries a weighty presence, both literally and figuratively. For Meredith Bernard and her husband Lawrence, the farm was more than a livelihood. It was a world they built together, filled with hard work and quiet moments. Yet, one seemingly ordinary day turned into a nightmare that none could have predicted. It began with a routine task involving a large piece of farm equipment, a gleaming, powerful combine used for harvesting. But then, something went terribly wrong. A massive cylinder, weighing over 1,000 pounds, slipped from its place and came crashing down. It pinned Lawrence beneath it, turning what should have been a normal workday into a desperate battle for survival. In that frozen moment, time seemed to stop. Silence filled the air, broken only by the frantic efforts of a friend nearby who sprang into action. Panic mixed with disbelief as the danger became real and immediate. Meredith's voice in her videos later trembled with exhaustion and gratitude, capturing the rawness of that moment. She spoke of the overwhelming fear, the fight to free Lawrence, and the fragile line between life and loss they so nearly crossed. Though she has shared parts of the story openly, there remains a weight in the air. Questions about how close they came and what it really meant for their family. The accident was more than a scare. It was a reminder of how quickly life can unravel. But what happened next wasn't just about survival. It was about the ripple effects of such a close call, the emotional toll, and the unspoken fears that linger long after the crisis. This accident isn't just a chapter in their story. It's a turning point that reshaped everything. The full truth reveals more than injury and recovery. It shows the strength of a family clinging to hope amid uncertainty. Behind the scenes, this event transformed Meredith's outlook and the way she shared farm life with her audience. That mix of vulnerability and resilience has become a hallmark of her channel, inviting viewers to see not just the beauty of rural living, but the hard realities too. While the accident itself was shocking, the aftermath only deepens the story, exposing layers of pain and perseverance that few outside this world ever witness. It is a quiet testament to how fragile and precious life truly is. Many wondered in whispers and speculation what had happened to Lawrence, how the accident had changed their lives, and even questioned the state of their relationship afterward. Yet Meredith kept some things private, choosing carefully what to share and when. It was clear, this was not a story to be rushed or reduced to simple headlines. It was a lived experience, complex and ongoing, much like farming itself. As the dust settled, the true impact of that day began to emerge, not just physically, but emotionally. The scare brought them together in unforeseen ways, yet opened cracks in the foundation that had always seemed so steady. The road ahead promised challenges far beyond tools and fields. It was a journey of healing and truth that demanded time and space to unfold. As their journey unfolds, it's important to look back at the roots of this farm life and the choices that brought Meredith and Lawrence to this place. A life built on love, risk, and a shared dream. Life before disaster. Before the weight of tragedy, There was a vision, one that began with two people determined to build a life grounded in their values and dreams. Meredith Bernard wasn't always this farm wife, known to thousands online. She came from a background far removed from muddy boots and open fields, starting instead in the corporate world. For years, she traveled the highways, working in sales, donning polished shoes and business attire, living a life that felt increasingly distant from her heart's true home. Lawrence, her husband, shared that vision for farm life, and together they dreamed big. A family grounded in the rhythms of the land, where children could be homeschooled in the shade of wide skies, and every season brought new work and new hope. This wasn't a spontaneous leap, but a deliberate choice. Step by step, walking away from the boardrooms and toward tractors, crops, and the unpredictable beauty of farm days. It was a path full of sacrifice, unknowns, and plenty of hard work. The transition wasn't simple. Leaving behind a career for the uncertainty of farming meant trading stability for something raw and wild. But for Meredith, it was about aligning life with truth, being at home in a place where family and farm blended into one. Their days grew longer, but filled with things that mattered: tending livestock, planting seeds, and watching their kids learn in classrooms made of nature and nurture. It was a world that couldn't be neatly packaged, but felt real and honest. The YouTube channel of Meredith, which shows their complete life story, presents an audience experience that combines both positive and negative elements. The farm life presented a situation which provided beautiful views, yet required substantial work. The students learned 3 essential life skills, which included how to remain patient when facing obstacles and how to stay focused during extended periods of time. The life of the person began with early morning activities, which created exhausted facial expressions throughout the day. The viewers found inspiration from a life which combined early rising with tiredness and a struggle for hope through their daily existence. The accident created challenges which existed before its occurrence because the weather failed to cooperate and the animals required treatment, and the team needed to manage their fears about making errors. Farming requires more than work because it demands farmers to weigh the potential results against their ability to manage situations which exist beyond their control. The couple achieved all their accomplishments because their farm work compelled them to dedicate their complete energy and physical effort. The family of the couple joined the audience by showing their children who performed farm work while living in a rural area which provided them with different educational experiences than urban schools. The family chose homeschooling because it represented their fundamental values, and it permitted them to maintain family ties while providing their children with educational experiences which classrooms could not deliver. Through her videos, Meredith showed her audience the complete reality that existed behind her work. The story of loss and grief is woven deeply into the fabric of farm life, shaping how Meredith and her family cope with everything that comes their way. Grief and loss on the farm. Farming is often seen as a quiet, steady life, but it carries its own tragedies that cut deeply. For Meredith Bernard and her family, grief has been a familiar companion along the way. Long before the accident that threatened Lawrence's life, they faced loss that echoed through their home and hearts. One of the earliest and most profound moments was the passing of Lawrence's father, Papa, a beloved grandfather to the children and a guiding presence for the family. He lived to the age of 92, filling their lives with small magic, cornbread at the table, bicycle rides in the yard, and traditions that stitched generations together. Losing him wasn't just a personal blow. It was a profound shift in the fabric of their family. Meredith's heartfelt video tribute showed her vulnerability, her tears reflecting a grief too large for words. Across the internet, viewers resonated deeply, sharing stories of their own losses while connecting with hers. But grief didn't stop there. The farm itself became a place of heartbreak with the loss of Little Man, the horse who had long been more than just an animal. To Meredith and Lawrence, Little Man was a friend, a steady presence amidst the chaos of farm life. No cause was confirmed, maybe Lyme disease, maybe something else. But when he passed, the hole left behind was keenly felt. Meredith's honest sharing was a balm for others experiencing similar pain, showing that sorrow in rural life is real and raw. These losses revealed how intertwined joy and pain are in the daily dance of farming. Celebration came with a quiet awareness that grief could return at any time, an undercurrent to every sunrise and harvest moon. Meredith's willingness to lay bare these feelings brought a unique authenticity to her channel, inviting her audience not just to watch, but to feel alongside her. The grief shaped them, but did not define them. Instead, it carved space for resilience, teaching hard lessons about letting go and holding on. Through these moments, their connection to the land deepened, becoming a place where life and loss coexist. It was a reminder that farming is not only about growth, but also about accepting what must pass. Loss on the farm is often invisible to outsiders, but Meredith's openness made it tangible. Her transparent conversations about grief brought a new layer of understanding to farm life, one where the strength to keep going is forged through heartache. Her story became a bridge for others seeking comfort in community and truth. The weight of the past and the near loss of Lawrence cast long shadows. But with community and strength, Meredith's story continues toward healing and resolve. The aftermath and recovery. The accident left more than just physical scars. It cast a long shadow over Meredith and Lawrence's lives. Lawrence survived what should have been a devastating injury, but the road to recovery was steep and uncertain. Meredith spoke openly about how shaken and exhausted she felt in the days and weeks that followed, revealing the emotional toll beneath the surface of daily farm life. Surrounded by the ongoing demands of the farm and family, she needed time not only to care for Lawrence's healing body, but also to process the shock of what had almost been lost. Recovery meant facing limitations in a life built on hard, unyielding work. Lawrence, once a constant force in the fields and barns, had to adjust to waking up in a different reality, one where patience and healing replaced steady, physical labor. For Meredith, this shift brought new responsibilities and concerns. From homeschooling and animal care to managing chores that Lawrence once handled, the delicate balance of their routine was suddenly fragile, demanding resilience on every front. The children observed the social disturbances which produced results that no educational program could deliver. The family established their home as a collective experience, which included endurance through challenges and prayer, and their gradual achievement of minor successes. Meredith recorded these true events through her videos, which showed her trembling voice, while she expressed both gratitude and fear. The accident created multiple life-changing effects, which extended beyond a single incident. The new schedule included medical appointments and therapy sessions together with planting seasons and animal births. Meredith observed that farming work posed dangers which could lead to severe accidents, while Lawrence fought to restore his strength. Her content about life experiences developed her authentic content, which she shared with her audience through her social media updates. The process of recovery included a hidden feeling of thankfulness. The family repeatedly expressed their gratitude for Lawrence's survival, which allowed him to share his experience. The family considered his survival a daily blessing, while they experienced the silent weight of what almost occurred. Meredith's writing expressed fragile hope, which her faith and community support helped her maintain. The fragility of life on the farm makes the rumors and assumptions sprouting around their family all the more painful and distant from reality. Fighting rumors and public scrutiny. In the weeks and months after the accident, whispers and speculation began to circulate online. Some questioned whether Meredith and Lawrence's relationship had cracked under the pressure. Rumors of divorce appeared, sparked by silence around the accident and the natural curiosity of viewers seeking answers. Yet, behind the gossip, the truth was far different. Quiet resilience instead of fracture, privacy instead of scandal. Meredith chose to keep certain parts of their story private, a decision born not from secrecy, but from a desire to protect her family in a vulnerable time. She shared enough to be honest with her community, but also set boundaries around what remained personal. This balance was no easy task in the relentless world of social media, where fans and critics alike hunger for details. Her decision illustrates the challenge creators face: how to be open without surrendering all. Online, communities rallied in surprising ways. On Reddit and other platforms where farming stories are shared, many viewers stepped in to defend Meredith and Lawrence's integrity. Rather than fanning rumors, these supporters pointed newcomers to Meredith's channels, encouraging them to watch her yourself and see the reality of their life firsthand. This protective tone showed the genuine connection and respect she inspired. Despite the internet's noise, Meredith remained rooted in her truth, continuing to film without glossing over the struggles. Her content didn't shy away from tears or hard conversations, offering an unfiltered view that many found refreshing and real. In doing so, she held space for the complexities of farm life, both the joys and the losses, without needing to answer every question posed by curious eyes. Public scrutiny isn't new for creators like Meredith, but the accident heightened the stakes dramatically. When your family and livelihood hang in public view, every shift in tone or schedule can spark assumptions. Yet, Meredith's approach demonstrated that authenticity and privacy can coexist, and choosing what to share is an act of care rather than distance. The rumors also speak to a broader challenge in rural and farming communities online: how easily personal hardships are magnified and misunderstood. Meredith's story became a case study in the pressure to perform while living through real pain, and the courage it takes to hold fragility in front of an audience. Her response, quiet strength and selective openness, offered a new way forward. Even as rumors and public pressures swirl, the strength found in community and truth becomes a lifeline that carries Meredith and Lawrence forward. Finding strength in community. In the ever-changing landscape of social media, Meredith Bernard has faced challenges that go beyond the hard work of farming. Her YouTube channel grew to over 133,000 subscribers, with more than 70 million views, a testament to the honesty and vulnerability she brings to sharing farm life. Yet, as algorithms shift and audiences move on, Meredith has candidly shared how it feels to put so much heart into content, only to see views and engagement decline. For someone already carrying the weight of family, farm, and recovery, this added emotional strain can feel heavy and lonely. Despite the ebb and flow of online attention, the connections Meredith has built remain deep and meaningful. Her loyal viewers continue to support her through thoughtful comments, merchandise purchases, and encouragement that remind her the impact of her storytelling goes well beyond numbers. It's these sincere gestures of community that seem to fuel her determination to keep sharing the authentic rhythms of daily life. The muddy boots, the burnt cornbread, the laughter and tears, all unfiltered and real. In a world where polished perfection often dominates, her raw approach feels like a breath of fresh air. The audience relationship with Meredith operates as a two-way street. Her community provides both protective and compassionate support, which they use to defend her against false information and misunderstandings. The Reddit community connects with farming forums because they have knowledge about the true character of Meredith, who openly confronts her life challenges. The viewers of the show display their interest through content consumption while they provide understanding in areas that typically contain rumors. Creators require this type of community support because they must manage their public sharing activities together with their private life requirements. The online creators who work on their farms encounter a struggle between maintaining their genuine self while dealing with the ongoing requirements of agricultural work, which most creators experience, yet they keep this issue unpublished. Meredith enables others to understand her challenges through her content, because she demonstrates her process of creating content during her difficult days. Every YouTube channel operates as a platform through which individuals reveal their personal struggles. The viewers who watch her videos demonstrate appreciation for her transparent approach, which they use to share their own experiences of facing difficulties and showing resilience. Meredith keeps her attention on actual life despite social media pressures. She presents the complete truth about farm life, which does not include any perfect or simple aspects. She presents the unpolished yet beautiful transition periods, which include both storms and sunset times, and moments when children play outside and times when people experience tears. The online world displays highlight reels which create an intense contrast with his genuine honesty. People in her community stay with her across multiple seasons because he demonstrates both determination and elegance through his actions. Meredith Bernard's story reminds us that farm life is filled with beauty and hardship, and the strength to keep going often comes from raw honesty and deep connection. Through tragedy, recovery, and rumors, her family remains united, showing us what resilience truly looks like. If you found this story inspiring, please like and subscribe to join us for more honest stories from behind the scenes.